Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. I will admit there have been moments in the past, probably honestly too many to count, when it sure seemed like Donald Trump was on his last legs politically. I mean, just a few weeks into this campaign, 2015, when he attacked Senator John McCain, who of course since has passed, saying that he likes people who weren't captured, or the aftermath of the Access Hollywood tape almost exactly 4 years ago. And then when he was caught red-handed attempting to extort a foreign government into digging up dirt on his political opponent and got impeached for it. And yet, Donald Trump, as you know, has defied political gravity. And here we are now, just 25 days to the election. People are already voting in multiple states. We have all been burned so many times. It can be hard to be clear-eyed about the situation. But let's just take stock of where things are at this moment. The president of the United States is not on the campaign trail with less than 4 weeks until Election Day because he contracted the contagious and dangerous virus that has killed 214,000 Americans and sickened over 7.5 million. He is at the center of a cluster of cases of unknown size and scale that includes his campaign manager, one of his top advisors, 3 United States senators whose votes he will need very soon to confirm his handpicked new Supreme Court justice, and his good friend and campaign advisor, Chris Christie, who right now remains hospitalized, his 7th night in the hospital with COVID. That's not to mention the head of White House Security Office, who is also hospitalized with the virus and critically ill. Tonight, word that one of the president's last best chances to gain political ground has been canceled. The Commission on Debate said that each campaign now has announced alternate plans for the date of the second presidential debate. That following the commission's eminently sensible decision, it would be conducted virtually. And it is now apparent there will be no debate on October 15th, and the commission will turn its attentions to preparations for the final presidential debate scheduled for October 22nd. Now, we don't know if the president will be done shedding viral load on October 15th, and the White House still will not say if he was shedding viral load at the last debate.
When was the president's last negative test prior to his diagnosis?
So we don't have that.
So on that last negative test, you said you don't have that. You don't know, or you don't want to say?
So we don't have that. I don't personally know.
Let me ask you this. Did the president at least comply with the Cleveland Clinic debate requirements to be negative tested in the 72 hours prior to that debate? Was that
you are
was the
very
president in
focused on
compliance with
looking
that?
backwards.
Okay. They've been doing this for a week now. And the only reasonable conclusion to draw is that the president did not actually test negative before he got in a room with former Vice President Joe Biden, a man of 77 years, for last week's debate. That despite a negative test being one of the conditions for participating in that debate. In other words, it appears we dodged an enormous bullet of having 2 candidates over 70 with the coronavirus. And so Donald Trump right now is trapped in the White House while his aides engage in a cover-up of their own public health disaster. His friends and his allies and advisors are sick. He is taking a strong steroid that doctors say can cause mood swings and grandiose feelings. The election is 25 days away, and he is polling the furthest below Joe Biden he has all year. All year. The latest average from 538 puts him 10 points down. That's getting in the Carter-Hoover territory. And the virus he has seemingly turned himself into a spokesperson for is, of course, still ravaging not just the White House where he works and lives, but the country as a whole.